Hey Achievers, this is Maya, founder of Healthy High Achievers. Join our global community and create healthier routines to avoid burnout and feel more calm and healthy. Let's get to it. Hey Achievers, welcome to this new episode about is it better to plan or go with the flow? I ditched my weekly planner and this is what happened. You heard that right, Achievers. I ditched my weekly planner. I had a beautiful weekly planner that I've been using for 2 years and now I just stopped. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, you can head over to YouTube and I'll show you my very beautiful weekly planner. Look at that, a beautiful manifestation planner, and I ditched it. Now, the first reaction of one of my clients was, but Maya, your whole course on scheduling, was it all for nothing? Of course not. Now, in this episode, let me explain a bit more about why I decided to ditch my weekly planner for now, the importance of thinking in waves of planning and waves of spontaneity, and how you can decide for yourself, is it better to plan or to go with your flow at this point in your life? Okay, so I created a freebie for you too, 20 affirmations and journal prompts to go with the flow and embrace spontaneity. You can download it here in the show notes. Okay, so I've always had a talent for planning and organizing. As a kid, I would even create a timetable for my free days and fill up my activities. Homework from 9 to 10, playtime from 10 to 11, whatever, family time. Time blocking wasn't even a hype yet, and I was already time blocking my days, inspired by my own natural talent for planning and organizing. Now, as a student, I had no problem with planning out my learning content over the whole year so that I didn't have to do any last minute late night studying before the exams. 500 words of French vocabulary? Okay, let me study 3 words per week for the next 17 weeks and plan 3 moments of full revision of what I've learned so far. Easy peasy. When I got my first job as a volunteer coordinator in Cusco, Peru, I had no schedule, no office, and my boss was on the other side of the world. I didn't even have to count my hours as long as I got my work done. I don't even know how many hours a week I worked. I think it was a lot. But again, for me, easy peasy. 2 years ago, I started my own business. I quit my part-time job and I decided to lower my expenses drastically so that I wouldn't need a job and I could spend all my time and energy on building my business. I bought myself a nice desk. I woke up every day at the same time and I was fully committed to my working hours at home, just like you would in an actual office. Easy peasy. But right now, I just can't. I started struggling a couple of months ago. I'm a stubborn Taurus, and I just continued using the same methods that always worked well for me. Wake up early, work from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. fully on my business, and then focus on friendships, networking, rehearsals in the afternoons. First of all, I just couldn't wake up. My body simply didn't want to. After that, I struggled with my morning routine. And then I worked for an hour and my mind already got distracted. What was happening to me? I was such an organized, structured, planned person. My body was longing for sleeping in, my mind kept wandering, my working hours got blurry, and then the changes started happening. 3 big changes for me. Change 1, my Instagram. Yes, it wasn't my weekly planner at first, but my Instagram that received a transformation first. As an online business owner, you constantly get taught that you need to have a content calendar, write all your content for the month in one day, and then use a scheduler. Be consistent with when and how often you post. Show your whole life on Instagram and your breakfast and stories all the time. Offer your services, and each post needs to end with a CTA, a call to action. You need to DM or stalk random people you don't know who could become clients, comment on a couple of posts, like network on Instagram. And then I told a friend of mine, she's also a certified coach in functional medicine, and she has ADHD. And I told her I was feeling fed up with content calendars and showing my breakfast on Instagram, which actually, did I ever do that? I don't think so. But I did share my morning walks in the beginning. So she said, "Oh, you know, I don't use Instagram, but when I think of Instagram, I feel like it should be a place to just, oh, I have inspiration. Let me share that on Instagram." And I sat there speechless. She said, "I never thought you would have to have a content calendar." Of course, Instagram is a place to share moments of inspiration. What had I been thinking? Planning out my very spontaneous inspiration? It didn't feel the same to write a post in the beginning of the month that would go online at the end of the month, and the energy wasn't there anymore. I would start seeing likes coming in and then wondering why, opening my Instagram and be like, "all right, there was this post I planned for today." 2 days after our call, I read in a business book, Instagram is for showing people who you are. Don't try to sell anything. They'll go to your website to learn about your services and to your Instagram to learn about you as a person. So I ditched my content calendar, and right now, I haven't shared anything in 10 days, and that is totally fine. I might share something today if I feel inspired. Now, my biggest change, number 2, my alarm. I know this is a luxury I have as an entrepreneur that not all of us can start doing. Sometimes I have meetings in the morning, sometimes I don't. I can work in the evenings or weekends if I don't feel like it during the day. But so I ditched my alarm. Every morning I was struggling, trying to wake up early as always, but my body started protesting. My alarm became a part of my dream. I would turn it off without realizing it. And I woke up 2 hours later than usual, frustrated as hell. And then, people, my dear achievers, I did something. I booked myself an astrology session. Yes, I did. I am a certified astrologer myself, but I never gifted myself a session from another astrologer. It's different if you try to analyze your own chart, but booking it with my astrology teacher from the UK, that was the best birthday gift I could have given myself. And by the way, if you get distracted by these flowers, people who are watching on YouTube, that was a birthday gift too. Now, in summary, this astrology session, she helped me accept what had been going on inside of me for a while. A wave of spontaneity where planning and scheduling just weren't welcome. And I must admit, I screamed when she said, "Okay, so this time of inspiration and spontaneity and just going with the flow, this will last until April 2023. And now the Virgo ascendant in me went like, "a whole year?" She said, "Maya, this is a time for you to get inspired, to have new ideas, shifts. Don't set any alarms. Don't try to schedule your work. Don't look at the time, and pay close attention to your dreams. Keep an ideas journal close by. Watch movies that don't make any sense, like Alice in Wonderland. And this year might seem like a very non productive year, but in a year, you'll look back and see that the changes you've made were of big impact and importance. Thinking you're not being productive because you don't plan your weeks, but in a year, you'll see that actually you have been very productive." And so I allowed myself to sleep in. I am allowing myself to sleep in, to dream, to embrace inspiration instead of fighting against it in my decisiveness to stay productive. Then we get to change number 3, my weekly planner. Sometimes you just need another person to say what you already know deep down, but you just couldn't embrace it. Often that's a therapist or a coach. And in my case, it was my astrology teacher, Wendy Stacy. Normally, I would plan my week beforehand in my weekly planner and update it every day, filling up time slots, checking off priorities and my to do list. But lately, I had been filling out my weekly planner after the week was over just because I didn't want to fall behind. I was like, oh no, it's empty. I didn't use it this week. Let me just write down what I did. When you think about it, I was being ridiculous. About 6 months ago, I had switched from my weekly planner to my Trello board. And still, I couldn't let go of my old method. So I found myself using my iCal for appointments, my Trello for to dos for the day, and my weekly planner for, I don't know, doing what I was already doing in iCal and Trello, really. Again, ridiculous. So I thanked my weekly planner for all it had been given me, all it had given me so far, and kindly put it away from my desk. Well, it's on my desk now just to show you, but this is how I am going about my days right now. I am creating space for inspiration. I sleep until whatever time I want to sleep, unless I have an early meeting. I stopped watching the time. I do whatever I want to prioritize that day using my Trello board of priorities. I found a way to speed up my Pinterest planning, and I only use Instagram when I feel inspired. I don't freak out when my story is empty. I don't freak out when I don't post for a week. It's all good. And also, I watched Alice in Wonderland 4 times actually. In the theater play, that was a coincidence. My boyfriend bought me tickets a week before I had that astrology session where she said, watch Alice in Wonderland. So then I watched the 2 movies with Johnny Depp. There's a first one and a second one. And then I watched the Disney movie to compare with a theater play. Then after watching the Netflix series Self Made, and a day after the movie about Steve Jobs, I got the most exciting inspiration for healthy high achievers, and I couldn't stop writing it out until 2 a.m. Stay tuned because the premium membership will get a whole spin to it. Now, those are the moments that I missed. I had them when I was just starting my business. Those moments of pure inspiration when you just can't fall asleep because you have all these ideas that you need to write down. That's what my wave of inspiration and spontaneity is about. Okay, so I'm not saying you should ditch your weekly planner forever. I'm not saying you should become lazy, sleep until noon, and watch movies all the time. No, no, no. What I'm saying is that there are times for spontaneity and there are times for planning. And the way to juggle between the two is to think in waves. We are not made for 24/7 whole year round go, go, go productivity. We are humans, not superhumans. I know you're a high achiever and I am one too, but we want to be a healthy high achiever, right? As much as we'd like to be productive all the time, just to feel like we're being useful with our time, this is an expectation of ourselves that is so far away from reality. Everything in nature lives in seasons, in waves, in cycles. Nature is not linear. We are not linear. Your energy levels go up and down. Your day goes from sunlight to nighttime. Your mood feels different every day. Your productivity levels will be different every day. And your mind, your body, your soul, they need waves of full on activity and productivity and waves of downtime, self reflection, inspiration. Now, important to know is that there are 3 kinds of waves. One is daily waves. So every day you decide when you will be productive, like working hours, and when you will stop to rest and just have downtime. In my mini course, The Empty Schedule, I call this the productivity window and the relaxation window. 2, weekly waves. This is a classic. Most people know this. You work during the week and you rest and have fun on the weekends. This might be a bit different for entrepreneurs, but you get the idea. 3, long-term waves. These waves are the hardest ones for us to accept. As you've read in this blog post, I needed to have an astrology session to finally accept my big wave of spontaneity. You'll have times in your life when you can get up and go, be super productive, get lots of stuff done. But there will be times in your life when you just need a break. You need more rest. You get distracted easily. And those times are here for a reason too. When you're in a wave of spontaneity, you might be going through some emotional trauma that you're processing on a subconscious level. Give it the space to process. You might be recovering from a health issue and your body just needs more rest right now. Give it the space to rest. You might be brainstorming about a new business, a new idea, a new way of life, and that one perfect idea is wanting to come to the surface. Give it the space to make itself known to you. Now it's your turn. Is it better to plan or go with the flow right now? Look at your own life and ask yourself, what wave am I in right now? What do I need more of? Spontaneity or planning? I have clients joining from Clutter to Calm who are super planned, structured, and they just need to more release and go with the flow. And I have clients who are super creative artists and they have a lot of going with the flow, but they lack some planning, and they both benefit from Clutter to Calm. Because this is the essence of what I teach people: a balance between flexibility and structure, a balance between planning and spontaneity. How can you honor both sides of the spectrum and truly listen to your body and your intuition to figure out what it is that you truly need right now? If you're in a wave of planning, definitely use the mini course, The Empty Schedule, to learn a new approach to weekly planning with a template that I created for you that allows you to create space for both productivity and relaxation. Now, if you are in a wave of spontaneity, download the free cheat sheet I created for you. That's a difficult word. Cheat sheet. With 20 affirmations and journal prompts to get into the spontaneity mindset. Now, if you're in a little bit of both, then join the Healthy High Achievers Premium membership, where you get weekly resources of both self-reflection and goal setting. We're also having a slow-paced book club, and we'd be happy to have you there. And with that, my dear Achievers, I hope you got inspired by my story and what's going on in my life at this moment. I hope you are ready to accept not only your need for productivity, or maybe even your productivity addiction, but also like your deeper need for relaxation, inspiration, and spontaneity. Take care. Dear Achievers, I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please subscribe and share with your friends, anyone who needs to hear this. You're super welcome to join us at healthyhighachievers.community as well. See you there.